a 5K last summer in Texas.
Okay.
And
wow.
Summer in Texas plus 5K plus didn't prepare for a 5K. It was not a fun experience, but I finished the race. I could not tell you how long it took.
Sure.
But what about you?
It's called the Dirty Dash.
Okay.
It's a 5K where you get to do obstacles, drink a beer after one of the Ks. So it's a lot of fun. So it's not.
Gotcha.
I kind of cheated, you could say. All right, quick look outside. I'm going to get you ready for your Monday. In my first look weather forecast, a little bit of showers this morning. That's coming up.
Plus, the West Richland woman accused of murdering her ex-husband stood in front of the victim's family for the first time during her arraignment. And a new business that opened up in Pasco hopes not only to provide, but educate people on the uses of cannabis. Good Morning Northwest continues right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Well, good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Riley Fitzgerald.
And I'm Jason Valentine. Welcome to Monday. Yes. You know, one of our producers came in and said, "Why do you lean?" Right? Sometimes I can't. So if at home, if I'm doing this, I can't read the prompter sometimes, so I have to lean over to see what a tough word is. So if you ever see me do that, you're part of the inside crew now. You know the secrets of Good Morning Northwest.
Exactly.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was busy, productive, and a lot of fun.
Excellent.
How was your weekend?
I just watched football.
So busy, productive, and fun.
It was fantastic, and I enjoyed the extra hour. It was a little weird getting up this morning because the only clock I have to change now is in my car, and when I was driving here, it said 4 something, and I was like, oh no, don't want to be late, but hopefully you don't go through that this morning. Let's take a quick look outside, and we are looking at more shower activity coming on down, and we expect on and off showers for the next multiple hours, most likely into tomorrow morning. We have a little bit of heavier showers coming in right now to the Hermiston, Pendleton areas are about to get that. So light rain for the last hour, but it is getting heavier as we're moving along. So again, just so you understand, the blue is just very light and the darker green is a little bit heavier. And if you see yellow, especially if you see red, that means some very heavy rain on the way. So off and on showers for the lovely Yakima region. We're in those mid 50s today, pretty much across the board. Maybe a 60, a lower 60 in there. Hermiston looks to be in the lower 60s. But again, on and off showers today. Winds shouldn't be too bad, maybe a little bit of breeze at times, but heavier winds are expected tomorrow. So some showers today, staying warm and cooling this week. I'll get you ready for all of that. My first alert forecast that's coming up in about 10 minutes.
Nearly 2 years after a Jacksonville Beach father of 4 was shot and killed in front of his child, his family saw his ex-wife in court for the first time Friday. 36-year-old Shanna Gardner of West Richland pleaded not guilty to multiple charges relating to her ex-husband's, Jared Bridegan's, murder inside the Duval County Courthouse during her arraignment. Prosecutors say Gardner played a role in a plot to kill Bridegan. She faces the death penalty and is charged with first-degree murder, solicitation to commit a capital felony, conspiracy to commit murder, and child abuse. Gardner's current husband, Mario Fernandez Saldana, who was arrested in March of this year, also pleaded not guilty.
I think that those responsible thought that no one would care about Jared, but his family cared, all of his children cared, our community cared, and so did many wonderful people from all over the country.
Shanna Gardner will remain in the Duval County Jail. Her next appearance in court will be on December 1st. The earliest this could go to trial would be April of next year, and we'll keep you updated as this case progresses. Passengers aboard an Alaska Airlines flight where an off-duty pilot attempted to cut off the engines have filed a lawsuit against the airline and its operator. 3 passengers claim Alaska Airlines and its operator, Horizon Airlines, didn't properly evaluate off-duty pilot Joseph Emerson before he was seated in the jump seat of the cockpit. The suit says if the airline had been more vigilant, Emerson wouldn't have been in a position to nearly kill everyone aboard. After the incident, Emerson told police he had a nervous breakdown, had been depressed and recently used magic mushrooms. Alaska Airlines previously said the crew saw nothing that would have prevented them from letting Emerson fly. The lawsuit does not list a dollar amount for the alleged damages, but does ask the court order Alaska Air and Horizon to better screen crew members prior to flight. The Yakima County Sheriff's Office has launched a homicide investigation into the killing of a missing man from Outlook who was found dead in Toppenish back in September. According to the Sheriff's Office, 45-year-old Martin Mraz was reported missing by his family in late August. Later on September 8th, deputies responded to an area near the intersection of Toole and Plank Roads after someone called 911 to report a body had been found in a field. An autopsy showed the person had a gunshot wound, and authorities were able to use dental records to confirm the person who was killed was Mraz. Anyone with information about this case should call Detective Dustin Dunn at 509-574-2641 or send in an anonymous tip to Yakima County Crime Stoppers. According to Richland Police, they have a suspect in custody who they believe to be responsible for a series of local arsons. 3 separate dumpster fires were set on Sunday, October 29th. All started within hours of each other. Police say they identified an arson suspect and say this same person was allegedly linked to a series of dumpster arsons that happened in August. Police believe the same person is responsible for at least 7 arsons in Richland and Kennewick since summer. Pasco's first pot shop is now open for business. Green To Go opened its first location inside city limits on Friday afternoon, and customers lined up outside ready to check it out. Owner Steve Lee says his goal is to provide a place where anyone over 21 can get answers to their questions about cannabis.
Our whole mantra is like, don't sell, just educate. And so we're very good on that. If you have questions, happy to answer anything you have. Our bud tenders will guide people through the various types of products we have, what they are made of, what their intended effect should be like, and help them figure out what is best for them.
It has been months since the city of Pasco decided to lift its ban on marijuana retail businesses, and that decision came after months of debate and public hearings. Right now, Kennewick and Richland do not allow legal cannabis sales within city limits, although West Richland is preparing to consider that issue later this month. Walla Walla Public Schools announced it is planning ahead as a national milk carton shortage is affecting schools nationwide. The district said it is putting plans in place to minimize disruption to its local school meal programs. The shortage is not due to the milk itself, rather the half-pint cardboard cartons it comes in, and the suppliers say the shortage could last several months. Walla Walla Public Schools Nutrition Services Department said it is actively working with other suppliers, as well as the milk distribution as well, so the milk distribution is not impacted on the school level. The department also said it has put a contingency plan in place in case the shortage hits hard. President Biden is asking Congress to approve $16 billion in emergency funding for child care centers across the country. This comes as $24 billion in pandemic-era assistance for child care facilities is set to run out this year. Without the funding, lawmakers fear many facilities will be forced to shut their doors, lay off staff, or hike up prices even more. Senator Patty Murray didn't mince words about the significance of this funding.
But what we are talking about today is really urgent funding to keep the child care industry from crumbling.
The average cost of child care is about $12,000 a year per child in the state of Washington. The emergency funding would earmark roughly $245 million for Washington child care facilities. One Eastern Washington child care provider with 37 years of experience says she'd use this funding to raise employee pay and lower her prices, especially for families who don't qualify for assistance.
It gets down to, do I pay for childcare? Do I work? Or do I try to get state assistance to stay at home with my kids? It's difficult if the funding isn't there to support the need that they have for childcare.
The Tri-Cities are preparing to welcome hundreds of athletes for the 2023 Special Olympics State Fall Games on November 17th. It's a major event for the community requiring support to help the games run smoothly. The Fall Games bring in around 850 athletes and coaches from across the state to participate in bowling, gymnastics, flag football, and volleyball. Around 50 Tri-Cities athletes will be participating. Joe Westsick, chair for the local organizing committee, explains why such a large event requires a large number of volunteers.
We need probably about 600 volunteers over the 3-day weekend to help us be successful. And we need help in all areas. Our opening ceremonies are Friday evening, and we need people to help with ushering the athletes into the auditorium. For the bowling event, we're looking forward to having lane monitors and people to help with lunches.
All the volunteer opportunities are posted online, and we'll have a link on our website, applevalley.newsnow.com. Zilla's boil water advisory has been lifted after the Washington State Department of Health reported recent test samples found no trace of E. coli in the water. No illnesses related to the community's drinking water have been reported, and the precise source of the contamination could not be confirmed. Residents who have shut off or not used fixtures, ice machines, and other related equipment over the past several days are encouraged to flush and clean the fixture or equipment before putting it back into use. Jason Valentine returns now with a look at your morning weather forecast.
Folks, we are looking at more shower activity this morning. We do have sunrise, though, a little bit earlier despite an earlier sunset. I have your first look weather forecast coming right up.
Plus, Sunday afternoon, the Seahawks traveled across the country to take on the Baltimore Ravens. We'll have NFL highlights coming up next.
Did you see this? It says most people are going to need long-term care that health insurance and Medicare won't cover.
I saw that, and it got me thinking, if I need to pay for home modifications or in-home care, I am not prepared. Are you?
Not really. I mean, whatever happens, I just want to know that I'll be able to get care and stay in my own home as I age.
Right? I want that too. So,
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
Dear 2030, we look forward to seeing you. After our 160-point quality assurance inspection, we'll be Toyota certified used vehicles with 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranties. Not to honk our own horns, but the best new cars make the best used cars. Yours, Toyota. To learn more about Toyota certified used vehicles, see your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at toyotacertified.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right, all year round. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $800.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
Look who's waking up with GMA this week. The Queen of Christmas, Mariah Carey, Megan Fox.
Good morning, America.
Luke Bryan.
Good morning, America.
And Peyton Manning kicking off the CMAs. All this week on
GMA.
Good morning, America.
Next live.
Gary Turner, the Golden Bachelor.
Plus, we kick off Great Getaways Week, and Jordan Davis performs.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
For 600 different cigars and 120 fine pipe tobaccos, it's The Educated Cigar. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado, it's The Educated Cigar. For 200 accessories, including dozens of humidors and fine pipes, it's The Educated Cigar. At The Educated Cigar, you can enjoy your favorite adult beverage and food from the on-site bar and restaurant while smoking and viewing the big game. Family owned and operated since 1998, open 7 days a week.
A unique farm that's now a park. Tuesday on Can't Keep You Local News at 6.
Welcome back on this Monday morning. Well, Geno Smith and the Seahawks travel to Baltimore to face Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. And there wouldn't be much good for Seattle in this one, as the Ravens absolutely took it to the Seahawks. It would take until the second quarter for Baltimore to put their first points on the board with a Gus Edwards TD, and then they would be off to the races. The Ravens defense would have a flashback to the days of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, as Seattle only managed to put 3 points on the board, and the Ravens would go on to roll the Seahawks 37-3. There was a Pac-12 showdown Saturday as number 5 UW would travel to Southern California to take on Caleb Williams and USC. It would be a barn burner as both offenses went off. Washington running back Dylan Johnson would finish with a staggering 256 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground, while Williams would throw for 312 yards and 3 TDs through the air. The Huskies defense, though, would stand strong in the fourth, holding the Trojans scoreless in the final frame to take it 52-42. The win puts Washington at 9-0 so far this season as the Huskies continue their stellar season. They play Utah in Seattle this Saturday. Coming up later today, former President Donald Trump will take the stand in a civil fraud trial to defend himself against allegations he dramatically inflated his net worth. And I'll return with your first alert weather forecast. Hey, we're seeing the first light of day. Hope you got that hour early in. All of your first alert weather forecast coming up next.
Navigating a real estate transaction can be overwhelming, from finding the right property to navigating the closing process. That's why a successful real estate transaction requires a team of professionals. At Windermere, our team consists of experienced realtors to guide you through the process, an in-house marketing team to maximize your home's exposure, transaction coordinators to ensure accuracy throughout the transaction, and a network of local industry experts. With Windermere on your side, you can have peace of mind and confidence in your real estate journey.
When you need legal help, trust Quantum Legal. In football, your team can have a bad season. In real life, when you are having a bad season, you can call Quantum Legal. We're here for you in times of trouble, whether you need assistance with criminal defense, personal injury, or have been injured on the job. And with tens of millions of dollars collected on behalf of clients, we will find the best solution for your situation. Call us today at 509-783-5551 or visit us online at quantumlegal.com.
Let's get scratching. Let's get scratching.
The next generation of streaming is here. Introducing Spectrum One Stream with internet, advanced Wi-Fi, mobile, and now TV with the all-new Xumo Stream Box. It's streaming simplified. Get Spectrum One Stream with fast and reliable internet for $49.99 a month. Free advanced Wi-Fi, a free unlimited mobile line, and a free Xumo Stream Box when you add Spectrum TV. Go to spectrum.com/stream, a Spectrum store, or call 833-976-4999.
Another fatal crash on
Alyssa Warner. She graduated from Walla Walla University, worked her first TV news job in Spokane, and brings the news home to you each night on Apple Valley News Now.
It's just one way. Apple Valley News Now is on your side.
She's local and on your side.
Next live.
Gary Turner, the Golden Bachelor.
Plus, we kick off Great Getaways Week and Jordan Davis performs.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Monday morning, everyone. And yes, one of the nice things about falling back an hour during your weekend is we do have our early light much earlier, and we'll see that sunrise also before 7 o'clock. But yes, sunset will be before your 5 o'clock hour. It's going to get dark very early today. So we do have shower activity to talk about. We have more shower activity pretty much all this weekend, on and off. Still, we did have some nice conditions yesterday. Seeing some heavy rainfall coming just to the southwest of Pendleton. That is that yellow, and coming up the Blue Mountain region. And we do have a bit of heavier rain after some very light rain coming into the area. And we're going to see off and on rain, it looks like, through the next couple of hours into possibly tomorrow morning, and then drier conditions. So some light rain right now in Yakima and Ellensburg. That blew more of the heavier rain in Toppenish and Prosser. As we move over in the mid-Columbia, again, we're keeping an eye on those heavier cells. Could even see a little bit of thunder and lightning within that. So in our future cast, as we move along in our morning, we're going to see more shower activity. Again, very hit or miss into our evening hours. maybe one last push as we get to tomorrow morning, especially along the Blue Mountain region. We can see cooler temperatures also. We do expect to see snow in the upper elevations of the Blues and some snow in the Cascades by tomorrow. And we're going to be seeing drier conditions, though, after all of that into our Tuesday afternoon and evening into Wednesday, Thursday. Looks like showers could return on our Friday, so get ready for that. Current temperatures, we're right in those mid to upper 40s, staying warm in our morning hours, but we're going to see a big cool down in our morning hours as soon as Tuesday late night into Wednesday, as we expect to see below freezing temperatures for many of our areas, or at least around the freezing mark. Our temperatures as well, we're up above our freezing level by a bit today and tomorrow, excuse me, above our average for this time of year for today and tomorrow. Then we'll be below our average as we head into the rest of our work week. So cooler temperatures are on the way. Wind speeds, not much of a problem today, maybe some breeze at times. We'll see those heavier winds tomorrow. Could even see 15 to 25 mile per hour winds at times. So a little bit of blustery conditions, and that'll be hearkening in those drier conditions. And again, as we move into the rest of our work week. So let's take a look at our highs today. 52 for Ellensburg, mid to upper 50s for Yakima, Toppenish, mid to upper 50s to lower 60s for the Mid-Columbia, and in the Blue Mountain region, right in those upper 50s. 7-day forecasts, and as we look at, again, late night Tuesday into Wednesday, we're right below that freezing mark, so much cooler conditions on the way. Rain could return this weekend, our Veterans Day weekend. Veterans Day is on Saturday, but most folks will get Friday off. Shower activity through tomorrow morning for the Tri-Cities. Going to be around that 50-degree mark starting Wednesday. Overnights will be staying just above that freezing level. And Walla Walla going to be cooler by tomorrow at 52. So good chance of those morning showers. But today, staying warm, often on showers, heavy at times through tomorrow morning. And just get ready for cooler but drier conditions on the way later this week.
Former President Donald Trump is expected to take the witness stand at his fraud trial today. It follows testimony last week from his two sons. His daughter Ivanka is scheduled to testify this Wednesday. Trump's legal woes do not seem to be hurting his campaign. A new poll shows Trump leading President Biden in nearly every battleground state, with voters concerned about the economy. Here's ABC's Allison Kosick.
Former President Donald Trump is set to take the stand today in his own defense at his civil fraud trial in New York. Trump reportedly telling advisors he's not concerned about testifying. The New York Times says Trump has held multiple preparation sessions. There won't be any cameras in the court today for his testimony.
I decline to answer the question.
During his deposition last year, Trump invoked the Fifth Amendment hundreds of times and read a statement attacking New York Attorney General Letitia James, who is expected to call him to the witness stand today.
We cannot permit a renegade and out-of-control prosecutor to use this investigation as a means of advancing her political career.
The judge already determined Trump overstated his net worth by as much as $2.2 billion. But now the Attorney General is seeking $250 million in damages and wants to prohibit Trump from doing business in New York.
The more that the former president says and goes into, the more record he creates that can be used against him, frankly, in this case and potentially in the other cases that are pending against him. And remember, those other cases are criminal cases.
Trump stormed out of court last month after the judge fined him $15,000 for twice violating a gag order. The case is unfolding with 1 year to go until Election Day.
Trump is getting some bad news today ahead of the testimony today. The governor of Iowa is expected to endorse Ron DeSantis and not Trump. Special counsel Jack Smith does not support televising the federal election subversion trial of former President Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. In a Friday night filing, prosecutors say the federal courts are expressly prohibited from allowing proceedings in court to be broadcasted or photographed. In a separate filing, a group of media organizations said the federal rule prohibiting cameras during criminal proceedings violates the First Amendment. Prosecutors say the argument is premature and that there is no constitutional right to a televised trial. They concluded saying the court should decline the invitation to ignore the binding nature of the federal rule. Former President Trump's trial in Washington, D.C. is scheduled for March 4th, 2024. When we return on Good Morning Northwest, it's time to put even more coins away as the IRS announced new regulations for 2024 that could lead to more money in your pocket when it comes to retire.
Allen Brecky Law Offices emphasizes the rights of accident victims and can answer your questions, such as how long do you have to file a claim? Who's legally liable to pay your medical expenses? Are you getting a good settlement from the insurance company?
Ooh, the DQ Cheeseburger Lovers Deal is back! 2 single cheeseburgers for only $5, or 2 double cheeseburgers for just $7? For real? Oh, tell me it's as good as it looks. Deal this good speaks for itself, I guess. But you better get it before it's gone. DQ, happy tastes good.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
No matter where life takes you, how it changes you or how you change your life, I want you to always come back to remembering our love.
Maybe everything is different, maybe not all bad, where the main things are centered to help us come around. Oh, love is the common ground.
There's more to life than the car you drive. It's the smell of fresh air and thrill of the outdoors, the celebration of life, and the family that lives it with you. It's those little moments you wish would never end. Whether you need room for 8 or enough torque for your weekend escape, no matter what your adventure, Corwin Ford will help you get there. Corwin Ford, family driven for over 100 years.
It's music video night on Dancing with the Stars.
Will your favorites make the list?
And Paula Abdul joins as guest judge.
Dancing with the Stars, live Tuesday on ABC and Disney+.
If you've been injured in an accident and are thinking about settling the insurance claim yourself, do you really know about the laws that help accident victims? Would you like to know if you're being treated fairly? Do yourself a favor. Call Allen Brecky Law Offices for a free consultation.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome back on this Monday morning. Well, hey, you can sock away even more money into your 401k or IRA next year. The IRS announced it's raising the 401k contribution limit to $23,000. That's $500 more than the current limit. Anyone 50 or older can put away an additional $7,500 in catch-up contributions for a total of $30,500. That same limit also applies to 403B plans, most 457 plans, and the federal government's Thrift Savings Plan. The IRS also announced it's raising the IRA annual contribution limit to $7,000 next year, also up by $500. People 50 and older can contribute another $1,000 on top of all of that for a total of $7,500. Live Nation, the parent company of Ticketmaster, says it is on pace for record-breaking earnings in 2023. You might guess why, with Taylor Swift and Beyonce taking the lead in ticket sales. Live Nation reports it as its strongest quarterly results to date, with a record 140 million ticket sales so far this year. That surpasses the 121 million sold in all of 2022. Earnings for third quarter are a reported $8.3 billion. That's up 32% from a year ago. Taylor Swift and Beyonce were the hottest tickets in town, but other stars also boosted revenue, including Pink, Harry Styles, Bad Bunny, the Jonas Brothers, and Bruce Springsteen. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal reports the Justice Department is investigating Live Nation for allegedly using anti-competitive practices to book venues and top talent and oversee ticket sales. Live Nation says the fundamentals of its business are not unlawful. The DOJ is not commenting on the investigation. Coming up, calls for a ceasefire in the Middle East continue as reports of increased civilian casualties in Gaza cause protests all over the world. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Atomic Health pays me to do the in-home, I guess, nursing or the things I do to help out, so we don't need a nurse. Meds, cooking, cleaning, getting him to doctor's appointments, picking up prescriptions, whatever else needs to be done. So at least once a month or whenever I need her, Sarah, or whatever nurse is available, comes to our house. If I have a worry that I'm not sure if he needs to go to the doctor, she comes and advises me and does an assessment and tells me if there's anything I need to do different, or I don't know that I could do this without him.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not.
Nutcracker Magical Christmas Ballet returns to Yakima. The Christmas tradition your family will treasure forever. Experience dazzling performances from the international cast, enchanting costumes, and whimsical giant puppets. Get tickets at nutcracker.com.
For 25 years, you have chosen Smart Law as your legal team. Times may change, but our commitment to you remains the same. We believe everyone has the right to exceptional legal representation. From all of us at Smart Law, we thank you for your trust and will continue to serve and fight for our clients and their loved ones. Smart Law, smart choice.
Time for a new roof? Let M&M Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
There's still time to save with Bi-Mart's latest savings book, posted at bimart.com. You'll find store-wide savings including everything you need for fall and more. At Bi-Mart, our members save more every day.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
With the war in Gaza lasting over a month now, Israel prepares for a renewed assault on the territory. And President Biden visited Lewiston, Maine in the wake of the deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. this year.
And more shower activity this morning, with warmer temperatures continuing for a bit, but cooler temps on the way this week. I'll get you prepared in my first alert weather forecast.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Riley Fitzgerald.
And I'm Jason Valentine. Welcome to Monday. Good morning, Riley.
Good morning, Jason. I feel like this year has been, up until recently, very dry.
I would say so.
I think
We've had a few weeks of very heavy rains.
Yes. But now it's back, it's fall, it's feeling like fall.
Yes.
With the showers. I am loving it.
I love it as well. We're going to see some drier conditions though this week, but not this morning. We're seeing heavy showers right now in many of our cities. Let's take a look outside at our lovely Skycam at Columbia Point and look at that rain. But we do have light. Sunrise. We probably won't see it, but it's in just about 15 minutes or so, and we expect to see more shower activity today. So we had light showers to start, and then we're seeing heavier cells starting to come through. The deeper the green, the heavier it is, and if you see yellow or even red, that's even heavier. So we're starting to see some heavier cells just to the west and the east of Pendleton. So that's going to continue through tomorrow morning. Off and on showers. Again, they're going to get much more scattered though as we get to our afternoon. Highs mid-50s. We're going to see some light winds to breezy winds today, heavier winds tomorrow, kind of heralding the drier conditions on the way and the cooler conditions. So right now we're well above our freezing level, but we're going to be seeing that change as we move along in the week as well. Some showers today, staying warm, cooling this week. I'll get you ready for all of that in my first alert weather forecast that's coming up in about 10 minutes.
The war between Israel and Hamas has been raging for more than a month now, with no immediate resolution in sight. Overnight, Israel saying they have cut the Gaza Strip in two, surrounding Gaza City ahead of an expected ground operation. Here at home, large protests over the weekend in Washington, D.C., demanding a ceasefire in the conflict. Liz Landers is in D.C. with the latest.
The conflict in the Middle East intensifying as the war between Israel and Hamas has reached a fifth week of fighting. This video taken from southern Israel showing explosions and flares in Gaza, rocking the small strip overnight as Israel's offensive continues. As their troops build a larger presence on the ground in Gaza, the Israeli Defense Forces claim that they have cut the densely populated area into two and created a, quote, humanitarian corridor for civilians. The death toll, though, climbs to more than 9,700 Palestinians, according to Palestinian health officials, as the pressure is mounting on the Biden administration to lower tensions. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in the region once more, making a surprise visit to the West Bank, where he met with Palestinian Authority President Abbas. Blinken told reporters,
following my conversations with the Prime Minister and with the Israeli government, this is a process. Israel's raised important questions about how humanitarian pauses would work. We've got to answer those questions. We're working on exactly that. In fact, we agreed that our teams would get together, and they're doing just that. It's important that the pause advance a number of things. One of them is hostages.
As the Arab world calls for a ceasefire, the president and his team making it clear that they believe Israel has a right to defend itself, but supports a long-term solution for Palestinians living in Gaza and the West Bank.
That means resuming the urgent work of giving a political horizon to the Palestinian people, which to President Biden means a two-state solution.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says there will be no ceasefire without a return of more than 240 hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza. The United States is sending a $425 million assistance package to Ukraine. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced the military aid to Ukraine during his trip to Israel on Friday. It comes as the Biden administration struggles to get more funding to assist Ukraine through Congress. The new package contains $125 million under the Presidential Drawdown Authority, which is pulled directly from Defense Department stocks and can be sent to Ukraine quickly. It will supply Ukraine with weapons that have proven invaluable to Ukrainian forces and does not include any new capabilities. The package also includes $300 million under the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, which is meant as a longer-term supply of equipment to Ukraine. It includes laser-guided munitions to counter drones. President Joe Biden spent Friday in Lewiston, Maine, meeting with family members of some of the 18 people killed in a shooting spree 2 weeks ago. He visited Shemenji's Bar and Grill, which was one of the two sites of the shooting. Biden gave brief remarks where he expressed hope for progress in passing comprehensive gun legislation.
This is about common sense, reasonable, responsible measures to protect our children, our families, our communities. Because regardless of our politics, this is about protecting our freedom to go to a bowling alley, a restaurant, a school, a church, without being shot and killed.
The topic of gun reform typically comes back into focus after mass shootings like Parkland, Uvalde, Las Vegas, and Sandy Hook. Meanwhile, Maine's Chief Medical Examiner's Office officially released the cause of death for the accused gunman in the Maine attack. Officials say Robert Carr died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head of roughly 8 to 12 hours before his body was found. Jason Valentine returns now with a look at your morning weather forecast.
Bit of heavy showers this morning for many of our cities, off and on showers today. Let me get you ready for your cooler work week ahead that's coming up.
Plus, a Florida police officer answers a 911 call from a little boy, but it wasn't for any emergency. Rather, the boy just wanted to show the officer a little love.
The best way to end your day.
That is good TV.
Friends, tonight at 11:05.
Sleep Shop and Furniture has expanded. To celebrate, all living room furniture is up to 35% off. A queen-size gel mattress for only $399 on hand with immediate delivery. Up to 18 months seamless cash and no credit financing available. Quality furniture, affordable prices.
When you need legal help, trust Quantum Legal. We're here for you in times of trouble, whether you need assistance with criminal defense, personal injury, or have been injured on the job. Law is a complicated matter. Our team of experts will fight for you and help you find the best solution for your situation. Don't let life's challenges get the best of you. We're here to help. Call us today at 509-783-5551 or visit our website at quantumlegal.com.
Is Medicare planning the last thing on your list? If you're approaching retirement age, contact the professionals at Stand Fortier Insurance Services and get answers to all your Medicare insurance questions. Let Stand Fortier guide you through the Medicare maze. Stand Fortier Insurance Services, bringing clarity to the complex.
Create a backyard that's out of this world. Right now, get a free carrying case, chain, and hat with the purchase of select steel chainsaws. Real steel. Find yours.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
For 600 different cigars and 120 fine pipe tobaccos, it's The Educated Cigar. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado, it's The Educated Cigar. For 200 accessories, including dozens of humidors and fine pipes, it's The Educated Cigar. At The Educated Cigar, you can enjoy your favorite adult beverage and food from the on-site bar and restaurant while smoking and viewing the big game. Family owned and operated since 1998, open 7 days a week.
It's Monday Night Football on Apple Valley News Now. As the LA Chargers battle the New York Jets. The Chargers, the Jets, followed by a special Apple Valley News Now prime time. Watch Monday.
Next live,
Gary Turner, the Golden Bachelor.
Plus, we kick off Great Getaways Week, and Jordan Davis performs.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
In Southwest Florida, a little boy picks up the phone to call 911, but it wasn't for an emergency.
All right.
Instead, the young boy called because he wanted a hug from an officer.
It happened on Wednesday when the 911 call came from a home southeast of Tampa. New body cam video shows the moments the deputy arrived at the young boy's home. There we go. You can see his mother open the door, concerned, and goes on to explain what happened.
She called her son to the door and asked him if he called the police. His reply was, "Well, I wanted to give him a hug." The boy went on to give the deputy a hug and then learned the importance of calling 911. He apologized for calling and the deputy gave him a fist bump.
It's very sweet. Now, what was it, a hug, do you think, for the kid, or he wanted to give the police officer the hug?
That's a good question.
Yes. It seemed to me that he wanted to give the police a hug just to kind of be nice. So very sweet. Quick look outside. You may want to stay inside this morning. And if you're headed out the door, you may want your umbrella. We got plenty of rain, heavy rain at times. I'll tell you all about it in my First Alert weather forecast coming up next.
And a new climate report from the UN is warning that more money needs to be spent to defend vulnerable countries from the effects of climate change. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
Time for a new roof? Let M&M Roofing replace it with the product so good you'll never have to replace it again. All roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Everybody in the Tri-Cities has been to a Hubby's Pizza Party, right? You haven't? Acquire the Hubby's habit and book your party today. Delicious, mouth-watering food made with only the freshest ingredients. It's party time at Hubby's Pizza, a hometown favorite for nearly 45 years. Book your party today.
I've worked construction all my life. I take pride in my job and working hard. I've had my share of bumps and bruises. Of all places, I get hurt shopping with my wife. This injury affected every part of my life. The insurance company offered me nothing. I went to my buddy Scott Brumback and Sid Autumn. We ultimately filed suit. My lawyers fought hard for me and got a great result. These guys speak blue collar. Now I know what they mean by bulldog tough. Right, Mo?
Brumback and Autumn, bulldog tough.
Hey y'all, this ain't no turkey shootout going on at Legends Casino Hotel in November. It's a roping and a riding cash and car roundup where you could wrangle $10,000 in cash or win a new Volkswagen. Just steer your Legends rewards card smack dab into your favorite slot machine to earn entries. And then giddy up on over to Legends Casino on Thursdays for your chance to snag 10 grand in cash or a VW Jetta on November 23rd or the Atlas Crossport on November 30th. Round up the posse and we'll see you at Legends Casino Hotel in Toppenish.
Whether you celebrate mistletoe magic in a Cadillac XT5, festive gatherings in a Cadillac XT4, or reinventing traditions in a Cadillac XT6, this holiday season, Cadillac is celebrating you.
Get 3.9% APR for 48 months plus $1,500 purchase allowance on the 2024 XT5 and XT6 when you finance through Cadillac Financial.
Did you know Ustria Health has 3 full-time board-certified orthopedic surgeons? Pain in your hands, knees, hips, or shoulders can reduce your quality of life. Orthopedic doctors repair bone, joint, ligament, and tendon injuries, which can relieve debilitating pain. Our surgeons treat tendonitis and carpal tunnel, repair broken bones and fractures, and replace painful, worn-out joints, putting you back in motion. Ustria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Monday morning, everyone. Does that not look like a postcard from the Tri-Cities? Hey, I visited the Tri-Cities in November, and this is what it looked like. It looks just very cliche and very nice, but very wet. We have some heavy showers coming down this morning right now for the Tri-Cities, along the Blues, for many of our areas. So get ready for a wet morning, then off and on wetness as we get to our afternoon. So some heavy cells just right in the Pendleton region. We're seeing lighter rain in the Yakima Valley. We're just on the periphery in Yakima. You are going to see some more shower activity, though, rumbling through today. As we move into the mid-Columbia, we're seeing that darker green, heavier rain for at least the next hour or so. Hermiston, Prosser, Tri-Cities, and along the Blues, that's going to stick around as well. So as we move along in our morning, most of the shower activity is going to move into the northeast, and we're going to be looking at more hit and run showers as we head into our evening hours at midnight and into tomorrow morning. It's going to conglomerate a little bit along the Blues tomorrow. Look at this snow in the upper elevations of the Blues, but more shower activity, then that is going to move along, and we're going to cool down as we head into Tuesday late night, into Wednesday, and for the week ahead into our Veterans Day weekend. So cooler temperatures are on the way. Not today, though, not this morning. We're in those mid-40s across the board, so staying warm. We are going to be below the freezing mark or near it as we get to Tuesday late night into Wednesday morning. So get ready for those cooler temperatures. Cooler highs as well. We're a little bit above our average for this time of year. Today, tomorrow, and then we're going to cool down to around 5 or so degrees below our average by Wednesday and into our weekend. So after some warm conditions for your weekend, things are definitely cooling down. Wind speeds, we could see a little bit of breezy conditions at times. Tomorrow in the afternoon, we're going to see heavier winds. We could even see 15 to 25 mile per hour winds. So a little bit blustery tomorrow. It's almost heralding the cooler temperatures and drier conditions. And then we'll see winds level out as we head into the next couple of days. So let's take a look at our highs today. We're in those mid to upper 50s for most of our areas, 52 for Ellensburg. Over in the mid-Columbia, mid to upper 50s, even 61 our hot spot for Hermiston. And in the Blue Mountain region, we're sticking in those upper 50s. 7-day forecast for Yakima, mid-50s today, tomorrow, then right around the 50-degree mark Wednesday into our weekend. Overnight lows below that freezing mark or at it starting Tuesday overnight. So chilly conditions are on the way. Tri-Cities area, we're above the freezing level for the week ahead. We are cooling, though, for our daytime highs around the 50-degree mark into our Veterans Day weekend. Veterans Day on Saturday this year, so most folks will get the day off on Friday. In Walla Walla, we're cooling down earlier. Tomorrow, we're going to be around that 50-degree mark. That'll persist into your weekend. And again, Friday, we could see showers return into our Veterans Day weekend, but that will mean warmer temperatures overnight. For your Monday today, highs mid to upper 50s, some lower 60s in there. Heavy showers this morning replaced by off and on showers this afternoon into tomorrow with those cooler conditions starting Tuesday late night.
We aren't spending enough money to prepare vulnerable countries for natural disasters caused by climate change. That's according to a United Nations report. The UN Environmental Programme's annual Adaptation Gap Report says the impacts from climate change are accelerating, while measures to adapt to climate change in the developing world are slowing, leaving billions of people increasingly vulnerable to extreme heat, worsening storms, and sea level rise. The estimated costs to fully prepare low-income nations for the worst effects of a rapidly heating planet are now at least 10 times greater than the amount of money currently flowing to these regions. The report shows the world can still prevent the mounting economic toll from climate disasters. The key issue is expected to be a key sticking point in climate negotiations at the COP28 talks in Dubai this December. We'll be right back with the morning sprint and a final check on your forecast, but first, a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an AI parenting alert.
My first initial feeling obviously was a shock.
Students and parents at New Jersey's Westfield High School now grappling with fake AI-generated nude photos of non-consenting students allegedly created by fellow students.
I came home and I told my mom, and I told her that we have to do something about this because it isn't fair to the girls and it's just not right.
14-year-old Francesca Mani was one of the victims. Her mother devastated. Now they're speaking out to GMA.
We should be teaching our boys that there will be consequences.
The school's principal in a letter to parents saying, at this time, we believe that any created images have been deleted and are not being circulated. This is a very serious incident. We are continuing to investigate. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more on how this unfolded. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
We're still going for that nice catch.
We're still going for that sweet shot.
And with higher stroke risk from AFib not caused by a heart valve problem,
we're going for a better treatment than warfarin. Eliquis. Eliquis reduces stroke risk and has less major bleeding. Over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke.
Don't stop taking Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
The #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner. We're going for it. Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time right now is 6:53. We're going to get to your first alert forecast in just a moment, but we begin with a look at this morning's top stories. Nearly 2 years after a Jacksonville Beach father of 4 was shot and killed in front of his child, his family saw his ex-wife in court for the first time Friday. 36-year-old Shanna Gardner of West Richland pleaded not guilty to multiple charges relating to her ex-husband's, Jared Bridegan's, murder inside the Duval County Courthouse during her arraignment. She faces the death penalty and is charged with first-degree murder, solicitation to commit a capital felony, conspiracy to commit murder, and child abuse. Zilla's boil water advisory has been lifted after the Washington State Department of Health reported recent test samples found no trace of E. coli in the water. No illnesses related to the community's drinking water have been reported, and the precise source of the contamination could not be confirmed. Residents who have shut off or not used fixtures, ice machines, and other related equipment over the past several days are encouraged to flush and clean the fixture or equipment before putting it back into place. Passengers aboard an Alaska Airlines flight where an off-duty pilot attempted to cut off the engines have filed a lawsuit against the airline and its operator. 3 passengers claim Alaska Airlines and its operator, Horizon Airlines, didn't properly evaluate off-duty pilot Joseph Emerson before he got on the plane. The suit says if the airline had been more vigilant, Emerson wouldn't have ever been able to nearly kill everyone aboard. The Yakima County Sheriff's Office is investigating the killing of a missing man from Outlook as a homicide. According to the Sheriff's Office, 45-year-old Martin Mraz was reported missing by his family in late August. Later, on September 8th, deputies responded near the intersection of Toole and Plank Roads after someone called 911 to report a body. Anyone with information about this case should call Detective Dustin Dunn at 509-574-2641 or send in an anonymous tip to Yakima County Crime Stoppers. Pasco's first pot shop is now open for business. Green To Go opened its first location inside city limits on Friday afternoon, and customers lined up outside ready to check it out. It has been months since the city of Pasco decided to lift its ban on marijuana retail businesses, and that decision came after months of debate and public hearings. Right now, Kennewick and Richland do not allow legal cannabis sales within city limits, although West Richland is preparing to consider that issue later this month.
After a warm and somewhat wet weekend, we are seeing wet conditions this morning and warm conditions continue. So get your umbrella out. We're seeing some heavy showers at times. That should persist for the next hour or so. We are past sunrise due to that daylight savings time coming to an end over the weekend. But our sunset, it's going to get dark early, folks. 4:35 is when you're going to lose that sun. So heavy showers coming through the Mid-Columbia and the Blue Mountain region. For Yakima, we're not seeing too much of heavy showers. You're just really on the periphery of any of the significant showers. And we're going to see off and on showers, though, for all of our areas as we get to our afternoon. This is really the big push of the day. We're almost out of Hermiston, heavy cells around Pendleton and along the Blue Mountain region, and about to get to Walla Walla there. So even heavier conditions there. So for the next hour or so, we'll see that come to an end, and then just scattershot showers starting this afternoon into tomorrow morning. Current temperatures, we're staying warm and we're right in those mid to upper 40s. We should be staying warm into tomorrow morning, but then we're going to be seeing around freezing temperatures as we get into Wednesday morning into the rest of our work week. So cooler temperatures, but luckily drier conditions are on the way. Breezy conditions are possible today, light winds this morning. As we get to tomorrow, though, we're going to see winds increase 15 to 25 mile per hour as we get to our afternoon, kind of heralding those cooler temperatures and drier conditions. So let's take a look at our highs today. We're right in those mid to upper 50s for much of the Yakima Valley. Ellensburg, you're at 52. As we move over into the Mid-Columbia, mid to upper 50s. 61 our hot spot for Hermiston, and in the Blue Mountain region, right at those upper 50s. So heavy wetness right now. That should come to an end in about an hour. Then scattershot showers for your day. Riley.
Thanks for waking up with us and watching Good Morning North.